Is this the executive call?
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I like that music. Someone was jamming out. Last time we had music on here, it was Ashley, and she turned on the music. She cranked the music up and she sang like along to it. And for some reason, you couldn't hear the music. All you could hear was her voice. So she was like, "All right, we're that one is not being recorded." You know, when you like sing into like a hip hop song and you only know like 1/10 of the words and everything's like na 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 na. That's about it. So that no musical performances tonight, but excited for this. We'll give everybody a minute to jump on. I know everyone's wants to be right on time and jump on there. But you guys say hi in the comments. Where are you guys calling in from? Where is everybody? Where's everybody from? How you doing? All right, South Texas, PA. Cool. Michelle's in North Carolina. We're in North Carolina, Michelle. We're in North Carolina. Sunny North Dakota. Woo-wee. All right. Arkansas. Beautiful this time of the year, huh? I see some Florida. Waxhaw. All right, I gotta work on that. Okay, let's see. Should I send this out? Cool. All right, there we go. Okay, guys, so we will get started here. Excited to chat, you guys. Thank you all for being on. Thank you for being present here. Thank you to Charlie for jumping on along with us. Hey, all right. Oh, sorry, we're gonna mute for you guys here. Maybe I can try to mute all, but we got everything recording here. So just excited to be here. Excited, guys, I'm excited for the future right now. I mean, that's what's got me pumped up, I know what we have going right now with social media, the influencer stage and everything that we got going is rocking and rolling, and that's fun. But the best thing for me is the fact that Nu Skin innovates and there's always something new. And in order to get that out to you guys or make sure that you understand how important that is. I wanted to bring on Charley Patterson. Nobody better than Charley. Now, if you guys don't know Charley Patterson, he's the other male on this call. Okay, is there we got any other guys? I told the husband to be on. Any boys out there? What's up, guys? Anybody in the background? They're in the background. We'll get them there, right? But Charley Patterson, 19-year Blue Diamond, 20-year Team Elite. I'm going to go here to speaker view. 20-year Team Elite. Circle of Excellence #2, okay, which just is a fancy way of saying he has 10 million reasons to love this business. Okay, hold on. Hey, Eileen. Is there another Eileen? All right. Mute you. Okay. 10 million reasons to love this business. Father of 5 children. And you guys, I don't know if you guys know, like when me and Charlie get together, I got 3 in 16 months. Okay. And so everyone's like, oh my gosh, right? And I get to complain and I get like complaining rights around everybody. But then Charlie shows up and Charlie had one, and then it was like a year later, right? I mean, it was very, very quickly at 3 years later. Was it the same birthday? Was that it? Okay, same birthday, right? 3 years later, a magical experience of having quadruplets and the cutest little nuggets in the world, and it's an amazing story. But if that, if his business accolades don't inspire you, the fact that he's still standing, and it's what, 5 o'clock over there, so I know how tired you are, man, and that nobody gets to complain in front of this guy. But honestly, Charlie, I saw you at my first event ever. It was a Team Elite University that we went up to. Jeff Mack, Nathan Ricks, Eileen Williams on stage. Charlie, I don't think you closed it out, but you had an amazing speech. And at the time, we were excited about facial spa, body spa. We were excited about the scanner, things like that. And honestly, with this new, the Prism IO coming out now, I mean, I can only imagine the excitement and the fire and the vision that you have. And so, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and let us know a little bit, maybe a little bit of your story and how you've used the Prism IO, the scanner in the past, a little bit of the vitamins, and just hang out with us. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. And I
Yeah.
remember you coming in the business and you guys, this your success and
Sorry, I muted you. I muted you for 1 second. Sorry, I pressed the mute all button there.
it's good. I'm always seeming to be muted in my best moments. I don't know if that's divine or not. But thank you for having me on, and good to see familiar faces and so many faces that I'm not familiar with. And that's really just great accolades of the business and new people coming in. So for those of you that I haven't met, as Kyle said, my name is Charley Patterson. I've been with the company for just over 21 years. Feels like yesterday that I started, and just being just so hungry for what this business offered. And it was incredibly foreign to me when I was first shown it. But what I found, coming from my background as a professional wakeboarder, which is the only other thing that I've done professionally or financially, was that I was looking for a solution, because I found, in going into my 10 year as a pro, that I woke up one day and I never wanted to do it again. And if anyone has truly loved something that they did, and then all of a sudden they didn't, um, I was really overcome with a lot of fear in that moment, because I had never known anything else. I never imagined that I wouldn't enjoy my sport, as I was one of the top paid in the world because of my timing. I got involved with wakeboarding at the very beginning, and that took just an ordinary guy on the water and gave me extraordinary results within the sport, to the point where in my 10 year, I was one of the top paid in the world. Um, and yet I wasn't the best rider. There were people, if you've ever met Nick Weinecker, who's also the blue diamond in the business, and he was 10 times the rider that I was. Yet I made 10 times or 20 times the money that he did because of my timing. And honestly, that I found that very challenging. It really didn't sit well with me, that because I invested in athletes during my sport and helped people learn to ride and go all the way to become top pros, and it was troubling that their timing wasn't as good as mine, and that they made a lot less money. And so, as I came into this point where I was like, okay, I've got to figure out what is the next chapter of my life. What am I going to do? How am I going to replace an income that I made roughly $500,000 a year as an athlete, and I was paid to play. I mean, I went wherever I want. I was asked to go places. People paid me to go there. I was expected to be there. I was promoted that I was going to be there. And it was I lived a dream until I didn't. And then I became very clear in that moment for the first time at 31 years old that I had linear income after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you're familiar with the business of the 21st century, I mean, Robert Kiyosaki's work, that my income, and if you're an employee, small business owner, or self-employed like I was as an athlete, that if your income's here, 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 it doesn't matter. When you stop, that income stops. And that scared me. I mean, I've given blood, sweat, and tears to my sport by choice. And yet when I stop, when my contract's in the next 2 to 3 years, with 26 different sponsors, I'm going to have zero income. I'm going to be about 35 years old, and it's going to be very expensive to replace my lifestyle. And I'm sure if any of you are business owners out there, like, would you hire me? I'm a really hard worker. I'm really coachable, yet I need to start about $500,000 a year salary. So any takers? And that I knew that was not an option that I was going to look to, because, well, I never wanted to be as somebody's employee. I've got what I call CI. I don't know if anyone else has this as well, but I have an adverse reaction, more like the Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner turning the Incredible Hulk, when someone tells me what to do. And I've actually, Eileen and Ashley, I've seen them kind of react like this too. So I know they have CI. It's kind of, hopefully it's contagious. So that I found that, okay, I've got to find something that will allow me to take my future into my own hands. And what I learned from Robert Kiyosaki is that about leveraged income. And so I specifically went looking for leverage income. I was invited to look at Nu Skin by one of my team managers and one of my largest non-endemic sponsors. And he just asked me to come and support him, because I said, I have no interest, very much like this call that I see, that there's it looks very much like a chick flick or a rom-com, that I was like, I don't think it's for me. And I made that judgment before, Nu Skin, it must be some, cosmetics company. And yet when I saw a presentation out of support of my friends and my team manager, I saw exactly what I was looking for. And I immediately saw a solution to my problem. And the pain that I had was replacing my income, but doing so with the ability to create financial independence through a leveraged asset, that I wanted to be able to create something that I could put the same type of blood, sweat, and tears into, sweat equity that could reward me long term, and ideally into perpetuity, pass on to my heirs. And I sat down with many top leaders, like Eileen and Ashley and Kyle and others that are on this call, and at that time that were at the top of the compensation plan, to see if they had the lifestyle that I wanted, if they had the outcome that I desired, and they did. And so that was evidence to me that this was a really good place for me, the best place that I thought at the time for me to put my energy, my time. And I got scanned. My first exposure was actually with this device. It was with the original biophotonic scanner, the first portable version, which is about 4 times as big as this, right? I mean, huge. And I got scanned, and I'd been on supplements my entire life. When I was 6 years old, I remember my dad feeding me Shackley liquid vitamins. And I don't know if anyone else on here grew up with these, right? Oh my gosh, Heather's not here. Okay, so these things were like, I remember, I think still need therapy for this, because they're these dark black vitamins, and getting spoons coming over my fresh scrambled eggs, and it's spilled the spoon. My fault. Who knows? I'm sure it was my fault. The 6-year-old kid with a ton of energy. The vitamins spill all over the eggs. And my dad had such a high level of value on vitamins and those eggs for their nourishment, that he made me eat my scrambled eggs with these liquid vitamins that I already didn't like on my eggs. And that was my first true memory of vitamins. As I got older, I adopted his values in the value of, having proper nutrition and taking vitamins. And that led me to really, buying vitamins from friends that were selling vitamins, coaches, trainers, guiding me to use whatever they recommended, because I was really confused in the marketplace on what to use,
Oh, really?
what was best. And then,
Okay.
hi, Maddie.
He's not had a good practice. Okay.
Sounds like a party in Maddie's car. Sound like my cars. So I found that very confusing, and then also just questioning whether or not they worked. And that to me was really I just had faith and belief. I wanted to believe that it was doing something for me. And when I got scanned by that device, it really was disappointing because I was spending about $200 a month on vitamins, and my score was 31,000, which is like a C minus. Okay. I am not a C minus person. And so that was really, really disturbing for me. I felt that I had been deceived and robbed and wasted my money. That's probably the biggest thing. I felt like I was wasting my money. And I saw the business. I saw that this could provide something that I didn't have, and that I believed that was really necessary, or a good positioning in the marketplace of supplementation, where hundreds of billions of dollars are being purchased and consumed, and people don't know if they're working. And that proved to be a great vision for me. I saw the scanner revenue worksheet and absolutely like wrote out my future. I saw a path to Blue Diamond, Team Elite, Circle of Excellence. We called it that time $1 million circle. And ultimately, I saw a path to $1 million a month in commissions. That was why I got involved in this business. And nobody at that time had made $1 million a month yet. It was achieved by Rain Ho in 2012 or 2013, and that was the 4-minute mile to say. And now with with Prism, right? I see. I know, right, Kyle? I know exactly right. Oh, gotcha. So I see the path to actually for that to come to fruition. And I have, as Kyle said, he's excited about the future. I have always been excited about Nu Skin because of what it's provided me. And yet I see it at an entirely different level now that we have the ability to scale and help every single person get to where they want to be and do something that's never been done, and go from, roughly 5,000 of these around the world to tens of millions, to a vision of 100 million of these being out there on the planet. And I'll say this for those of you that are new and haven't been around, like Eileen and Ashley and I for 21 plus years, is that because I put the time and energy into building this business, 6 years into it, when I got married to my incredible wife, that we took a 2-year honeymoon. And during that time, my income grew 32% while I was focused on my marriage and the foundation of our family, which very likely is why we ended up with 5 children, of that foundation and time together and investment. But then we went from 1 to 5 kids in what was told to be 5 months, and ended up being 6 months later that they were born. And we spent the last 8 years focused on our family. And I didn't have to ask permission. I didn't have to ask a boss if it was okay. I didn't have to check in with anyone. And that my income kept coming in for these last 8 years while I've been focused on the foundation of those kids. And now I have 4 children in 1st grade, and I have 1 child in 4th grade, and it's time to get to work. And so I've been working. I'm working back more aggressively with greater vision than I've had. And I'm putting in 10, 12 hours a day and loving it, and excited for the future, and honestly seeing all of you succeed and thrive and achieve what it is you desire. Kyle.
I love it, man. And what a story, honestly, that's what I love to hear is, and I think everybody on this team as well, like we're not going into the unknown, right? Like I'll never forget one of the first events that we had at Nu Skin. I think we brought 20 people, Ashley brought 20 people, and it wasn't anything special, right? And Jeff Mack looked at us and said, I see the writing on the wall. I see how many LOIs you have. I see how many executives you have. I see the energy and the leadership that's here. And I know what's going to happen. And you're going to dwarf us in business. And that's when we went on to have, the most 4-star platinums and just all the wonderful things that happened from that. And so it's like, there's a really good quote about that. You might know this one. That might be like a Nathan Ricks quote. Like, if you want to tell the future, if you want to be able to predict the future, just do better than someone did in the past, right? Like just
That's
take.
a new one for me. Love
There
it.
you go. All right, that's a Kyle Sisquick. I just made it up. All right,
Kyle said it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But that's what's so cool about this opportunity is, that when that scanner came out, that vision was there for us to scan the world. But the opportunity wasn't really there. I had a scanner. Me and Trish had a scanner. We worked with chiropractors and doctors. We worked with the orthopedic surgeon for the San Diego Chargers. And he had the scanner. He loved it. For the first time in the world, he could actually scan his patients and see how they were doing and then recommend something that was guaranteed to grow or guaranteed to work. And I said, if not, we'll give the money back, right? Because that's the new skin guarantee. And so it's incredibly exciting. So I got a few questions here. As you see this coming. So I believe the plan is a few of these are going to come out in third quarter. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Okay. And then 2026 is when the actual scanners, the devices are going to be more available to maybe executives, maybe distributors, things like that.
Correct. Yeah, they'll roll out in waves based on production, is my understanding, and that the ultimate outcome is that they will go to consumers, but that will be after that we have the field and ample supply, and out there and sharing the vision and telling the story, and yeah, the end location is the customers.
And that's awesome. So positioning wise, why is it important? Why are we talking about this now? Why is it important? And what have you seen in your past business experience that tells you it's time to start thinking about this, being excited about it, or how should we be working towards it and positioning ourselves in the right way for this?
Yeah, I love it. I think of Eileen's story, right? And just entry points to the business where, in looking at New Skin's history, right? We're blessed to be with a company that is out of the 65,000 plus companies since the 1950s. We sit in the 0.02% of companies that are multi-generational, meaning that we've been around for decades and that we do over $1 billion a year. That's 0.02% of over 65,000 companies. Yeah, that's right, 0.0002. And that is really important to understand that where you lean your ladder in this industry matters. And so if you lean your ladder against a company, the 99.92% of companies that don't make it because 0.08 do, and that just means 0.08 does an accumulative lifetime sales of over 100 million in revenue. That's that 0.08. You lean your ladder against a company that doesn't make it, and you don't have a leveraged asset. You have a paycheck while the company's around. And so that's, to me, Kyle, it's clear and easy for me to understand why people are skeptical, why people, have had a bad taste in their mouth, why they've had a bad experience, or most people do, because of that really low success rate of companies. And then you look in the company, in our company, in human behavior in general, is that 95% of people quit what they do, anything that they do. And so, Claire McDermott said in my first convention, 5% of the audience was going to stay in the business. And what I heard is, what I took from that is that 95% would choose to not do what's necessary to be successful in the business, and 5% would make the decision that they were going to be, because it's ultimately up to each individual. And every single one of us can be a part of not only the 5% that stays in the business, but the 1% that goes to the very top of income earners like Kyle and Maddie, who I just mentioned, and Ashley and Eileen and others that are on here. Every single one of us can be that 1% if we decide to. So, the past of what we have as a foundation, as Kyle said, innovation is in our DNA. And I believe that each of you have come on and had an experience with the products that has been emotional, that you have seen a transformation or had an experience that you liked. and that you used our products for it. You saw belief that it worked for others and it worked for you. And so there was a business there, right? If people were going to consume and have an emotional transformation experience, they're going to continue to use the products that you saw business, and you saw business for yourself. Well, that difference demonstrated is really key, right, in the innovation. And so as we look to what has happened with this biophotonic scanner and the positioning of it, I in my life, and I'm sure that many of you will be very much the same because you're here, is that if you look and are familiar with the Rogers adoption curve, there are the innovators in the very front segment of that are 3%, the early adopters that are 13%, the early majority that I believe is 34, late majority is 34, and then the laggards, which are 16%. So when I decided, okay, I'm going to drop out of college in my senior year, I'm going to move to Florida, and I'm going to become a professional wakeboarder. In 1994, people told me I was crazy. They asked, how are you going to become professional in something that doesn't even exist? Because it didn't exist to them yet. It did to me. I caught vision for it. And I already mentioned in the very beginning, because I caught that vision early and took action on it, it positioned me to be one of the highest income earners, even though I wasn't the best athlete in the sport. And those same people that called me crazy, well, they weren't only wakeboarding 2 years later, they were riding a wakeboard with my name on it. And that was because I positioned myself before the massive wave of growth, of adoption of the sport, which became the fastest growth of the sport, of any water sport. And so that timing was key. With Nu Skin, here we are building on a foundation of 41 years. At the time that I came on board with the scanner of the first generation, we were literally teaching people what antioxidants were and what free radicals were, right? Which to me was totally backwards. Like the free radicals must be the good guys, right? And the antioxidants must be the bad guys because they're free and anti. Wouldn't that make sense? No, it's the opposite. Okay, so that was my wakeboarders, language and mentality. But we had to teach it, and we had to, it felt like most of us, and I want to say this is really effective, is be more scientific than actually just, scanning people, finding out their needs and getting them on the product. And yet that innovation with this, it went to Circle of Excellence 1, Blue Diamond Team Elite, all with the story of that scanner until we were disrupted with the facial spa because of the demonstrable difference that could create visually in literally 5 minutes, right? And we saw that we didn't have to wait months on this, but that we saw the change in 5 minutes. It was emotional. And so as you look back on the past of the last 23 years of using this device, 26 million scans have been done, over 26 million scans. And it really is timing that how we have on our side today, when you have machine learning, we have AI, and those combined with the fact of analytics and these 100 million plus data points that we have with this, that we are able to be more effective with this device and technology than ever before. In science, it's considered scientifically significant if you have 479 data points. That's significant. That's a big deal. Well, we have a first mover's advantage with this technology based on 18 global patents, and that it's Nobel Prize winning science. It's proven with over 180 peer-reviewed published documents that first mover's advantage gives us, it's an advantage, right? That we are able to do things that no one else can do. And it's such a giant gap that literally, it's almost impossible for anyone to catch up because they're not able to do it, first of all, and they would have to garner those 26 million plus scans that we have in counting. And so that positioning, once again, but based on 41 years of foundation of innovation as a company, and then 23 years with the device, we are moving to the next phase, which is the Prism IO platform. And so we're taking what has been done and moving to, we said, and we said for years, right? One day we'd be able to hold it in our hand, which we did, was the S3. And then one day it'll fit in the palm of our hand and we could put it in our pocket. Right now, I loved Kyle's face when he saw this, because I use this as just one of those magnets you put on your back of your phone and you can suction on, but it's really relative to the same size, and it gives the visual demonstration of where we're going with this, and that we've gone from this being, as Kyle said, dominantly in healthcare professional and with medical sales reps, to then ultimately being able to get it into the homes of our consumers, those that are using our vitamins and want to, one, know what to take, and then secondly, to prove whether it works. And I want you to think about this in regards to like the similar as an Apple Watch, a Ring, or a Whoop bracelet. What is the value of those devices, and why do people wear them, all the time? It's because of the feedback it gives us, the information it gives us, and that we're able to modify behavior to get the outcome that we desire. And that is really the differentiation, the disruptive nature of this, is that we can provide a measurement, and the ability to measure is science. But Carl Pearson in 1850 said this: that which we measure improves. That which we measure and report exponentially improves. But getting scanned once a month, getting scanned every 6 months, getting scanned once a year, it has an impact with incredible customer acquisition and customer retention into the 90th percentile of customers staying on the product because they saw that difference. And so what can happen as we adopt machine learning, AI, and modern technology to be able to give people the ability to put their finger on the device, and in 15 seconds, whenever they want, even daily or multiple times a day, they can check their score to validate that their approach is working or not. And we've seen the groups that have focused on this consistently, that their customer acquisition numbers are through the roof. Their retention and their growth year over year over year for decades is significantly compounding. And so that is the outcome that we're looking to help people create, is a business based on healthy customer consumption, right? Where we have a business with customers lined up outside the door and down the street because we can do something that no one else can do in the world. So why is this time so important? Because we're back at the front end of the innovator stage, where we're looking for those that catch the vision, that understand that we're going to go from rolling out hundreds of these to even maybe 1,000 or more than 1,000 this year, to tens of thousands in the first few quarters of next year, to millions, to tens of millions, and ultimately with the vision of rolling out over 100 million of these. And Kyle, I look at these, I am going to say like an analogy or a metaphor, that this is like a little mini ATM machine, right? Because the more people that we scan, the more people that get on the products, and that's a skill set like anything else that you'll learn. And if you have the desire, you'll develop. And then there's a high retention of people because they see their score change. And what is really fascinating is that those that have led with nutrition in the scanner, they have higher volume of purchase on average of non-nutritional products. They have higher consumption per brand rep of Nu Skin personal care products than those that lead with personal care. And so, why is that? And I just go back to science and validation. Because people can see, wow, if this works and I can prove it, it's not psychosomatic, it's not a placebo effect, it's actually changing at a cellular level, and it's validated, it's non-biased. What else does this company, create that would be at this level? Because their belief level, their trust, their confidence goes up. And so, if you can understand, which I'm sure you can, because it's math, right? We're going to talk wakeboarder math here. Very simple terms. $2 billion a year in sales, paying 40% commission, going to 10 billion a year, paying 40% commission, we know that our biggest income earners have most likely not even started the business yet. Right? Kyle, I'm sure you're with me and Ashley agree, and you know, seeing the kids in Maddie's car there, it's very likely, ideally, I dream that the biggest income earners coming are our kids, the next generation of our business. That is the most emotional thing that I can think of in this business is my children, one or man, all of them saying, Dad, I want to do new skin with you, because of who we become doing it and what the service that we're able to provide by doing this business. So opportunity, we need you to fulfill this vision. And you very likely may be the biggest incomer this company's ever seen yet by taking action.
I love it. I love it, Charlie. Man, I've got a bunch of questions here. I got a bunch of notes also that I'm taking. I mean, great information. You know, I really appreciate you coming on and like sharing some of this, the things that you learned over the years. You know, some of those numbers and some of just those stats and how impressive the scanner itself is. And then when it comes to retention, you know, and that's one thing I talked to my team about is you know, I've been in the business for 10 years. I still have customers that are on LifePak Nano and Youth every single month for 9 or 10 years. That's pretty cool. Here I got a question for one of my questions was, how does the scanner help with acquisition? How does it help with retention? You nailed those. I mean, that's going to be huge. You know, here's one question I wanted to ask is, who should we be talking to? Because I feel like sometimes we can think that I worked with doctors and chiropractors, things like that. Who should we be talking to? Everybody? Should we be talking to health-focused people? Should it just be super focused on orthopedic surgeon of San Diego Chargers or wakeboarders? Or what do you think? Especially with our business being so social media focused and beauty focused, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, a great question. And you know, I've been doing a lot of digging into, you know, who's the avatar that we're looking for as the perfect ideal customer and business builder, right? I mean, I think, okay, we look at customers in the United States. 70 to 75% of the population is currently using supplements, currently using it. They don't know what to take, right? And they don't know if it's working. And 25 to 30% are not taking vitamins because they don't know what to take and they don't know if it's working. So if we're able to provide people with direction on what to take and provide them validation that it's working, what percentage of the market share are we able to get of what I believe is a $50 billion industry in supplements just in the United States, right? What can you carve out of that by just getting in action and going out and scanning people? So, you know, first of all, when I think of customers and Scott Bennett, we've got a great, he put together a antioxidant assessment document, which I can share with you guys that we have people fill out before they get scanned. And it's really a fact-finding document to find out people believe in supplementation. Are they taking it? What are they taking it for, the reasons they're taking it? And so the first thing is having someone that really cares and wants to, right? That taking that 70 to 75% of the market that's already taking them. And then I offer them a challenge. Like, you know, if you're spending $100, which my dentist, we ski together, his kids are in the ski race program together, and we're at the lake together, and I scanned him. He has interest in the scanner for his dental practice. And he's on $100 worth of product, and he didn't scan bad. And so, you know, I just said, man, it's great foundation. He was around 40,000, spending $100 a month. And I just said, hey, would you be open to challenge and me earning your business? And let me, you know, prove to you that my product can improve your score. To which he took that challenge, right? Because there's no risk. If it doesn't improve his score, then as you said earlier, Kyle, that he gets his money back. And so I look at that 70 to 75% of people that are already buying. And I have very close friends, property developers out here. They do about 2,000 homes in the Northwest a year they build. And I went over and scanned he and his wife and, walked out with $1,400 of orders because they filled out the forms and they were on vitamins. They believed in them. They scanned in the 30s. And again, I just asked like, hey, may I earn your business? And may we, use my products to increase your score. And if they don't, then which led to their daughter getting on the product and so forth. So, that's customer acquisition key. If the scanner sits, it's just like this, the well spot sits on your counter. This thing is not going to do anything, right? I mean, you have to use it, right? I had to use this for 30 days, 20 minutes a day on my wife. I did this after she birthed 4 babies and was out to here. And in 30 days, she was in a bikini because I used this on her. I did the work on her tummy for 20 minutes a day for 30 days, followed by TrueFast Essence Ultra and the firming cream. So you get a scanner and you don't use it, it's not going to do anything. So, but let's talk about the business. And no offense to any healthcare professionals here, but I mean, even those that have been focused on healthcare professionals forever, and Kyle, you had this experience. That's not easy, okay, to say it kindly. It's really a lot of work, and I give props. Yes, tough cookies, Eileen. Props to Scott Bennett and Stephen Moore and others that have led that charge for 23 years in that space, because it is tough. And so, did the reason I've talked to my buddy's a dentist because he's my buddy, not because he's a dentist. All right. That's just to be full disclosure. So I don't want you going, oh, let's go after dentists. And so, because he's constantly for years going, what do you do? How are you not working for 8 years? Right? What was going on? So, when I look at the business, and there's so many things that echo in my brain around Eileen. When I believe that this story, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, is that Grace called and asked to talk to Ted, and you said, hey, how about talking to me? Right? I look at those mentors and peers that we've had in this space, and they come from incredible success. I mean, Eileen was raised by a successful, dad in the space of what I believe was the corporate world. And I was the top 1% of my sport. I think about Mort Ehrlich, who was, CEO of TWA Airlines. I think of Nathan, who had success in real estate, and his brother-in-law, Craig Tillotson, came to him and said, listen, you're riding a bicycle. I'm driving a Ferrari. You can never catch me because you're in the wrong vehicle. Nathan had no leverage. Craig had leverage. And so when I go to all of the success that's happened with our company, and it was built, the foundation of really that second generation of business people that came in, like Eileen, in that generation from if you don't know Nu Skin's history, in 1989, we were doing 50 million when Nathan came in and sat in the back of the room after his brother-in-law said, listen, I'm going to go on, I'm making 50 grand a month. I'm going to go on to making 250 grand a month while you're still riding that bicycle because you have no leverage. Nate went to that meeting in California, sat in the back of the room. There was a line out the door. Company was doing 50 million. In 20 months, the company was doing 500 million. Okay. They grew 10x in 20 months. Nathan went from 0 market share to roughly 60% of the company. Okay. That then positioned him as the company grew to $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion, right? And the business is growth, contraction, growth, contraction. And that's what my business has looked like over 21 years as well. Growth, contraction, growth, right? So our business is principally based. And I believe that when you find in this business that what we do here is exactly what you have done before somewhere else, that there is an aha moment that's like, oh my gosh, I know how to do this. at least enough to create results that you want, that you move forward and continue to build the skill level that's necessary, the skills that are necessary to build the business long term. But success before New Skin is principally based, right? Like, so when I saw, oh my gosh, for me, this is wakeboarding. I did this in pioneering the sport and building the tour and the X Games, our portion of the X Games, and the format and the judging and the grassroots and the development and all of that. I've already done this. I just got to do the same thing here. When you're able to see those parallels and understand that the same principles of success that are required to have a successful marriage, to be a successful parent, to be successful in the corporate world, to be successful in sports, whatever your background is, it's principally based. It takes someone that has delayed gratification, that can look long term, because people commonly in our business underestimate what's possible long term and they overestimate what's possible short term. Now, there's been some great, incredible money stories here, right? Eileen's and Ashley's stories resonate with more people than my story because of the amount of time that it took them to get where they are today. And I'm telling you, like, I would take their story over mine. All right. If I could do it over you, I would take their story over mine every day because it's relatable. And I'm seriously, they have knocked the socks off this deal with the success because of the delayed gratification and the development of the skills and the time they put in. And then to most people, it was an overnight success. Like, oh my gosh, this was so easy for you, when they put in a good 10, 15, 20 years, right, before their time of massive success. And so who to look for? And I mean, I share with everyone, I scan, I want to be in front of everyone that I can to tell the story, to improve my storytelling of the story, to flex the muscle of presenting the business, scanning people, finding people's needs, wants, desires. But the biggest thing is just taking action and looking for the people that are going to get it. And so, Kyle, here's what happens, right? And this comes into driving lines. Why is it that historically we find the best people in our organizations at generation 5 or 6? Why is that? I was on generation 7 of Nathan and rolled up to G1. Why? I mean, all my top leaders were 5, 6 or deeper. Why is that?
That's math.
What about the math? Because it is math. What about it, Kyle?
It's not linear.
It's not linear.
It's
Okay,
exponential,
so
right?
So here, if I take helping someone go from brand affiliate to brand representative, and that in the old numbers of 4,500 in volume to become a brand representative, not the current SPP, I knew that I needed to get in front of approximately 20 people with each individual on their road from brand affiliate to brand rep. 20 presentations. And so I had to flex my muscle with that 20 times with that person, get them to brand rep. I go to the next generation, generation 2, another 20 presentations. So now I'm at 40. I get to generation 3, another 20 presentations. That's 60 presentations. I get down to generation 4 and I've done 80 presentations. I get to 5, 100 presentations. I get to 6, 120 presentations. What's different about me and you from presentation number 1 to 150 presentations?
You got to be so much better.
You're not the same human, right? I mean, telling the story, what to look for, what to listen for. Oh, it's not about what I say, it's about what I ask. Learning the skills. You have to flex the muscle, right? You have to get in the gym and you've got to work that muscle out to build the muscle. You have to put it under tension. Practice makes. Finish my sentence. Type it in there. Practice makes.
Perfect.
No.
No.
Improvement. Practice makes improvement, right? Repetition is the mother of all skill. So the reason that we find the best people historically deeper, deeper, because as you do the work of this business, the same, the more people you launch on social media, the more people that you onboard, the more people you help get to brand rep and then to Ruby, all of these things and development skills, your vibration improves, your energy, your belief, your focus. Okay. You resonate at a higher level. So when you're at number one and your first presentation, your belief is on a 1 to 10 scale, I'm going to say it's like a -1. You haven't used the products, you haven't demoed the products, you haven't seen the products work for other people. You don't know if the money's real. You don't know if this company's real, right? You don't know if Eileen and Ashley and Kyle have actually gotten what they say they have done, you know? So your belief is low. This is normal. We have to work with you to get your belief level up so you're bulletproof. Right? So you attract and repel a different person in your first beginning of the business than you do when you're at 150 presentations. Right? So that takes time. Your low-hanging fruit are generally in the beginning, and the people that you go to Ruby, the people you go to Blue Diamond, the people you go to Team Elite with, usually not the people that are going to be around for the next 10, 20 years. Because you're attracting and repelling a different type of person. Okay. And this is physics, this is quantum physics, this is universal laws. These are principles, right? That we use in the business. So
everybody and drive the line.
drive the line.
And find the best people. Is that what I'm hearing there?
You're gonna continue, but you just know successful people and people that have money because they've been successful love opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
They love, I'm constantly looking to where am I going to put our money? Mm-hmm. I'm looking to where, Kyle, we have a conversation. I remember the last conversation with you and Ashley sitting and you were having cocktails and I went flying home and we're talking about, man, I constantly looking where to put my money. I made some good decisions. I like really good decisions, made some really not so good decisions with investments, but we're constantly looking for opportunity. We're opportunists. So the successful individuals that you have in your lives, like guys, like they're open and looking.
Love it. I love it. Let me get you two more quick questions. You got time for this?
Yeah.
You okay.
I'm good.
What products? So if somebody like right now, right? I've had a few conversations where people want to get scanned. It's like they want to start, like they want their before and after. So some people are waiting to get products in order to have a good before scan, in order to have a big jump, right? Which is like getting really fat before your weight loss. It doesn't make sense. It's just not truthful. Okay. But so being a product of the product, how important is it to be a product of the product? And what products do you suggest if somebody wants to raise their scan score?
Great questions. Love your questions. These questions come from great experience, right, Kyle? Is that I'm sure you hear, as I do with almost every person, well, if I'm going to represent it, I got to believe in it. I won't sell something I don't believe in it, or they'll use that C word. I can't sell something I don't believe in. That, yes, you're right. Totally, 100%. And the best way to believe in something is to actually use it, right? So one of the principles of success is investment, right? Putting your money where your mouth is, investing in what you're talking about. You have skin in the game. One of my favorite books is oh my gosh, I just spaced the name. Benjamin Hardy, his first book that I ever read. Somebody's going to type it. Ashley or Eileen, I feel like you probably gave it to me as a gift. But oh my gosh, no, not 10, no, earlier, the first one, his first book. It literally is my favorite success book, and the first book that he ever read. Willpower Doesn't Work. Is that right? Is that the title? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. No, it's 10x.
Look at
But
that
it
one.
says the author. Yeah, yeah. So that book, in talking about investment, right? Investment is key. For you to believe in something, you've got to use it. Right. I've gone on a total tangent, derailed myself. So here we are with, you want to believe in the scanner, you want to believe in the nutritionals, what to take. And I encourage you to take whatever it is that you have the ability to afford to have an experience with. Okay. The premier products are for sure LifePak Nano, which we're the only company that has nanotechnology. It's patented with us, right? You're going to get 60% better absorption of LifePak Nano than LifePak because of the nanotechnology. Because the nanotechnology, it two things. One, it's smaller molecular size, which hence the nano, but it's also, there are minerals that are not fat or water soluble, so they don't pass within, and they don't pass through the intestinal wall, that are encapsulated in fatty acids, so that they do then go through the intestinal wall, which makes it a dramatic increase in that 60% of absorption. Okay, so LifePak Nano, youth, also scanner certified, and youth is different. It has omega-3s in it as well, but it's also designed to reset 1,000 of your genes to express themselves the way they did when you were in your early 20s versus 52. And there's some incredible brain health MRI scans that we've done through the clinical trials with that. And for all the men, if you that are on here, want to come in our weekly MBSB call that we have, that we talk about a lot of these products each Friday, and there's great details on this. So youth, collagen plus, scanner certified, incredible product, right? I mean, Argentina, I'm sure I didn't even say this, like New Skin is being called the collagen company in Argentina because of the profound results that they're having and significance of that product. And then G3, I go through a bottle of G3 every 2 days with my 5 kids. That's a great product. So those are foundational. If you know, LifePak Nano price is too much for someone, or you just want to spend less, you can go with LifePak. You can get the discounted shipping with Optimum Omega, which will put it just over $100. And if you want to step up from there, you go Marine Omega with LifePak. So there's different value, you know, options with those products.
I love it. Awesome.
Willpower doesn't work. Jeez, that was like a tough one. Finally came to me. Willpower doesn't work. That was the book by Benjamin Hardy.
There you go. Awesome. And then, all right. I mean, this has been a lot of information, you know, a lot of great info, Charlie. And thank you for going down those rabbit holes for us a little bit. The last question actually comes from Maddie Glasser. I asked him, the team leads, any questions, and I showed him what I had, and they said, "You're good. That'll be enough." But also, how many team elites came out of the last scanner boom?
Man, you know, so here's when I came into business and how I got associated with Eileen is because we had the bulk of the company all focused in the same direction, telling the same story, singing the same song, doing the same dance. And, you know, there was roughly 1,000 people a month coming to the company for a fly-in to come check out the company. And I look at, you know, been learning a ton from Rain Ho, who the first leader to break a million a month in commissions, and he is I know you guys all keep this stuff confidential and all the disclaimers that this is not easy, a lot of hard work, but Rain is over roughly 130 million in the business since, and he's been in the business 23 years. He's 2 years older than me. And he's just like massive strategy. I should say Circle of Excellence 130. We'll go with that. Okay. That we're consistently talking about alignment and how we get alignment. And that the definition of alignment is belief times communication. And so I know that there's a dramatic increase in communication within my own team, a dramatic increase of communication I'm experiencing with our peers. around the world. And then you look at momentum and how is momentum created, and how did we create momentum when that really that caught my attention and what was going on with the scanner. To your question, Maddie, how many team elites were created, in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, I guess 2004 when I came on, and I remember Eileen sat in the back of the room and got angry, got irritated, and took the scanner and went to Team Elite and became, the fastest growing, biggest organization in the world of new skin, because it was her time. That momentum, simple definition, is mass times velocity. So the larger number of people that we have moving in the same direction, that we create momentum. And so honestly, Maddie, to your answer, I'm going to say that it was a lot less team elites than we're going to create with this one. And that we're positioned, and I've had a lot of these calls, and I'm grateful to be invited, Kyle and Ashley and Eileen, to speak to all of you. And I think you guys know I'm Team New Skin.
Mhm.
The name on the front is more important than the name on the back. I'm for the greater business of New Skin, not just my own business, not just my own team, and wherever I can add value and throw gas on the fire for other teams, not to disrupt them in any way or redirect you from what you're doing. But I do believe that this is the platform, this Prism IO, that no matter what your tactic is, no matter what your approach and how you do the business, online, offline, both, or whatever method, that you could utilize this platform to go out and build a business that literally creates something bigger than what you've ever dreamed of. And so I believe that we're going to create thousands of more team elites with
Mhm.
this. Yet there's more value in us being aligned and singing the same song, dancing the same dance, doing the same jig. So one thing with that is that historically Blue Diamonds and team leads come in 2s and 3s. So who are you locked arms with and running with, right? That you've got a running partner, upline, downline, sideline, that you're chasing it, and that you're going out to achieve your goals.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Charlie, thank you so much. All I can think of, as you're saying that, is like legacy leader. I think that, like, when you mentioned that, within New Skin being one of the only legacy companies that's ever hit $1 billion, and all the amazing reasons that we know we're so lucky, and that other people might not know, but also to have leaders come on like yourself and give your time to a group that does not financially benefit you. That's one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen in business, because that's not exactly how I was raised in my past business experience. And I know Eileen does it, Ashley does it. I love to do it, and exactly in our teams as well. I mean, we have a saying on my team, which is a rising tide floats all ships. And it's just so true. The more you give, the more you receive. All these success principles, and you're embodying those. And so, thank you for your time, everybody. If you want to pop in the comments, give Charlie a little bit of love. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute, and if you guys want to say goodbye or thank you or anything, unmute yourselves, and let's show Charlie a little bit of love from this team here. Thank you so much, Charlie.
Thank you so
Thank you
very
so
much.
much,
Thank
Charlie.
you.
Thank
Thank you for your
much.
time and all you do.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
What's
so much.
wakeboarding, Mitty?
All right, bye guys.
Let's go. Okay, bye, Kyle. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.